Well, happy 40-degree Sunday morning, afternoon now, I guess. Started out as morning. Anyways, pretty cold this morning. Took a while to get the garage heated up. Today was a lesson about patience. Lots of patience and forethought. If you don't have either one of them, you're just going to make yourself mad. That's what I did today. So first of all, we'll start with what did we get accomplished? We got the seat put back in. I was pretty happy with that. Although it won't. There you go. You can see the back. Got the tank in and everything. Got the all lined up, and I had to grease the track, get that all freed up. It wasn't sliding as it was. But right after we got the seat in, we went to open the door, and it started going into its half position again. And I was like, well, what the hell? We just replaced the door check on that, which is this piece right there. And come to find out that the door check was the two little arms that's on there. And you can see these little black arms right there. One was sticking out, and it was catching on the inside of the bracket, and subsequently would bend it and bent the arm almost at a 45-degree angle, and then it would stop it from opening all the way. So took the inner panel off, took the handles off, so I could get to it, and found the problem. So I had actually two door checks. So I took the other one. I was like, well, I'll straighten this one out and keep it as a spare, and I put the other one in. Got everything mounted, tested it. Yep, works great. Put the door back on. Shut the door, open the door again, and son of a bitch if it didn't do it again. I was like, there's something going on here. So I think it was just the design in the aftermarket product that I bought, which, you find these things out. So anyways, I started taking the panel off again. And in the meantime, before I did that, I took the pin out so I could open it up to see if I could manually get it to come all the way extended. Couldn't get it to do it. So I was like, son of a gun. So took the door handles off, started taking it off again, and then this screw right here. Now I used a regular screwdriver, a regular Phillips screwdriver with the proper size head on it, and put all these in by hand. And this one, for whatever reason, was like, it's almost like somebody welded it, because it was not budging, wouldn't come out. And I mean, they were just hand tightened. So I don't understand that whole thing. But all the other screws came out. So now I'm sitting there getting more frustrated by the second. And so I got the impact, and I tried impacting it off, and all it did was make the head worse. So I was like, God damn it, now I'm going to have to drill it. And while I was sitting here contemplating my next move, I realized, and I almost had a panic attack when I realized that I had not put any insulation in between the door and the fender. And so not only was I stuck with a door panel that wouldn't come off because of one fucked up screw, but that's what I did right there. Isn't that lovely? And I don't know what's worse, fucking up like that and realizing that you should have just been more patient and taken your time with it, or breaking the news to your wife because you just put a nice little dinger in her door. And so I sat down and just thought about it for a while, and I realized that screw wasn't coming out, so I got a drill, and I drilled it out, and I couldn't have drilled it out any more perfect. It drilled out great. And that's actually the screw from down here, so I'm going to have to get another screw. All the threads were still fine, just came right out with no problem. So got it all back together. After I took it apart, fixed the door check, and realized what was going on with it. So I had adjusted, taken the old one, and I had straightened it out, realized why it was doing it, fixed the two little arms there, and put it all back together, put some grease on it. And everything's been working like a champ. But the good news is we're we got the interior done. We're just waiting on some shoulder belts that I ordered, but they're back ordered just like everything else in this world. So the last thing we have to do in the cab here is get the shoulder belts mounted, and we'll do that as soon as they get in. But in the meantime, that takes care of that. Nice big ugly dent. So Adam, if you're watching, I'll be giving you a call, see what we got to do to get this paint matched, and have you do some repair for me. Keep that boy busy. Hopefully not make him retire. So anyway, so then we started. I said, well, you know what? I said, I'd really like to do something on the Mustang. So today's task was to rip out all the carpeting. And we got all the carpeting, all the underlayment out, and it's just nasty. You could tell it was definitely original. But over in here, looks like, must be a pretty fast car, because he probably pissed himself several times, you know, causing those pans to get all surface rust on it. But there's some little pinholes right in this area right here. Nothing bad. I mean, it's still solid, just little pinholes. You can shine the light up underneath it and see the lights coming through. This side is good and solid. There's some little rust spot, but I'm going to take all that up and get it reprimed with some rattle can. And in the back, this was probably... There's no holes or anything, just pretty nasty. I'll probably order a new cap for it and replace both of those. But you can definitely tell where the water goes when it's got no place to go. But we got it all cleaned up, got all the seat belts out and everything. So that's what's on the agenda, is getting the interior going on this. But I'll get the carpeting put in, and then I'm going to do some stuff with the dash. I got to replace the bezels on the gauges there and the speedometer, because they're all wore out. You can see even the chrome is kind of like just gone. Gonna replace the steering wheel. I got a Grant steering wheel with a Mustang center cap, so I'm gonna put that in there and do all that with all the seats and everything out, so I've got, you know, room to lay down and work. But yep, so feels pretty good to get the Chevy you know, usable and movable, so I can get it out of the way. I've got some other things I'm going to do. I got to go through and check the brakes, and because that pedal was kind of soft. It's got an upgrade. Somebody had put power brakes in it, and so I'm going to go check all that out too before we put it on the road. Still got a vibration and transmission, and I thought it was the you know, these trucks normally came with a carrier bearing in the middle. And going to find out this one has they put a turbo 350 in there, hydro TH 350 in here for the transmission, and they went with a single drive shaft, so they don't have the linked drive shaft. So either I got a bad drive shaft or there's something else going on, but it's got a pretty good vibration when you're going down the road. So, and the transmission does slip a little bit. So once I get it on the road, I'm going to take it over to the local transmission shop here and have them go through it. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. Pretty exciting. It was, you know, nice to have some warm weather. Nice to get some things done on the Mustang. I've been jonesing to get that done. I mean, I love working on this truck, don't get me wrong, but you know, it just got to get back to the crack in here and get that thing going so we can enjoy it hopefully by the end of the summer. But you just gotta, one thing at a time, you know, and then that little thing called work gets in the way. But so one thing I wanted to say is, I don't know if anybody's been following the whole mess up there in Ottawa, and actually just Canada in general. But what I'm seeing is a peaceful protest turned violent by the authorities. And then, of course, you know, you see the news from CBC, you see the news from CNN, which to me, those are the two most worthless outlets there are. And then you see all these other news reporting agencies, and they're filming it from the other angle. And you know, yesterday I watched a video of these mounted police physically actually trample over two women. I mean, just, they didn't give a shit. Just bowl over them, trample them over. And I got to tell you, if you support that, I don't care if you're BLM or Antifa or whatever, and if you're peacefully protesting, by all means, that's your right. It should be your right. Apparently, it's not there. You know, you got a piece of shit prime minister up there who calling off these, you know, calling out this Emergency War Act and bullshit piece of shit. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional about this, but when you see what you see, and you see all these thugs who are being forced to, you know, push a line with batons and just not give a shit about their own citizens, and they're not even raising a hand towards them. You know, that's bullshit, and that's why people don't trust their government. And you know, I'm getting to that point where I don't either. And I mean, I haven't trusted them for a long time, but this just really reinforces, you know, what this world's coming to. And you know, people got to stand up for their rights. And if it was warmer weather and it was a little freer, we'd be over there standing in lockstep with them. And but anyways, that's all I got to say about that. But hey, have a great rest of your weekend, which not much left of it. And we'll see you hopefully next weekend when we do some more on the Mustang. And have a great week, everybody. Be safe, and talk to you then.